The word investing probably turns you off and you have absolutely no idea how to get started. But you only have one income source, which is your job. So what's going to happen if you actually lose it? You are not going to be able to retire early and you will likely be plagued with money problems for the rest of your life. I was exactly in that position 3 years ago until I decided to invest in myself and put in tons of effort, which enabled me to create these 4 income sources that I have today. So in this video, I'm going to review all my income sources, how much money I made in November, and revealing the secret digital product that I have been working on for the last month or so to keep track of all my income and expenses. Hopefully this gets you started with investing and create a new income source for you, which allows you to have more time, money and flexibility in the future to pursue things that make you more happy and excited. So what exactly are the 4 income sources that make up my entire income for November? Starting from the smallest, you have the money market funds. As of August of this year, I actually invested $10,000 into the CSOP money market fund using the Momo Singapore app and have been constantly getting returns from it. Very fun, very nice passive income that's coming from it. It currently gives me a 4.5% return per year, but the good thing is that it gives daily returns and the money is relatively liquid, so I can just withdraw it anytime that I want. You can see from this snapshot here that I have $10,000 invested, and under every calendar day I get about $1.20 to $1.30 USD, which accumulated to a total of $38.74 USD for November, which is about 52 Sing dollars. So the second income source will be cashback from a high interest savings account. The account that I currently use is the UOB One account, and I pair that with the UOB One credit card. Links will be down below if you want to sign up for any of the different income sources that I've mentioned. I currently have around $40,000 invested into the UOB One bank account, and it gives a yearly return of around 3% or so. Keep in mind there are a couple of requirements to hit this 3% return, which is number 1, you need to deposit $1,600 of your salary to this account every single month, and number 2, you need to spend $500 on a valid UOB card. Please only get this card and account if you're able to hit the spending effortlessly and not trying to hit the spending just so you can get the higher interest on it. So on a $40,000 investment, I was paid a total of $91.67 for interest from the UOB One bank account. I've also just launched a budgeting spreadsheet for you guys to track your expenses and income sources. It currently looks like this. If you check out my previous video, you'll be able to see all the expenses that I already have typed in here. Now you can see the 2 income sources that I have just mentioned, and the spreadsheet will very nicely calculate the total amount of net income and expenses at the bottom and on the left side as well. This will help ensure that you guys keep track of how much money you are spending and make sure that you are saving and investing your money properly. I'm currently selling this digital product at $24.95 on Coffee, and the reason for this price is because I want you guys to have some skin in the game and really take your finances seriously in 2025. I'm obviously not going to hide the fact that I want to make some profit from it. I've put in a month's worth of effort to create this digital product to track my expenses for myself and also for you guys. To make things interesting as well, in every individual month there's actually a quote of the month to motivate you and inspire you to make sure that you're keeping track and making sure that you're having fun doing all these things as well. To put things into context, the YouTube Premium Family subscription costs $28. So if you can afford something like that, a $24 digital product to better and take charge of your life should be a no-brainer. So you guys can purchase it, the link down below in the description, if you guys are interested in taking charge of your finances seriously in 2025. Only for those who are serious about it. But moving on, the third income source will be dividends. So this is honestly something that I am most excited for because I've been diligently building up this $50,000 dividend portfolio on the Momo Singapore app for the last 2 years. It's nice to finally see some returns on it, which doesn't look like chump change, you know, like I can't buy anything with it in the previous years when I was investing in this. There were 2 dividend payouts this month, and the first one was from the DBS bank stock. I currently own 200 shares of DBS, which I bought at an average price of $36.47, which amounts to $7,294 that I put in. DBS has since risen quite a bit to around $43.37, so guess who looks like a genius right now in investing in DBS stock? But of course, all joking aside, it's not like life-changing money, but it's nice to see your money invested, growing, and paying you a whopping $108 of dividends this month. DBS currently pays a dividend yield of 4.87%, which is pretty close to that 5% yield that I wanted for my dividend portfolio of stocks. The other dividend income is from the Singapore Savings Bond. So I invested $10,000 into Singapore Savings Bonds, and it pays a return of around 3% per year. This paid me a total of $151.50 for the month of November, bringing the total dividend income to a whopping $259.50. The fourth and final income source, which also happens to be the biggest income source of them all, is my full-time job as a physiotherapist in a private clinic in Singapore. So I saw quite a few patients this month, so after CPF deductions, I have earned a total of $10,872.17. Putting all these income sources into the budgeting spreadsheet, the spreadsheet will automatically calculate it for you, and it brings the grand total of all my income sources to $10,858.91. Does this mean that I can invest this entire sum of $10,000 into the market for the month of November? Obviously not, which is why we need to do a payday routine to determine how much money we can actually invest into the whole of November. So first step would be to subtract all the expenses that I have in November. So if you watch my previous video on my November money diaries, you will know that I spent a total of $3,351.27. I also tend to leave the money market fund returns in the app to compound, so that only leaves me with $10,820.17. I also want to contribute $600 to my travel fund every single month so that I can travel freely without digging into my savings or investments. For you guys who are also very big onto traveling, you guys might want to also put aside money every single month in order to buffer for your travel, so you don't have to stress about it when you actually book your flights and accommodations. After taking away all the expenses and travel fund contribution, I will have around $6,868.90. I'm currently saving up to buy my house next year, so I allocate $3,000 every single month to my savings as well. This goes straight to the UOB One bank account that I mentioned before and stays there so that it is liquid enough to use whenever I'm ready and still earn a decent interest on it. This leaves me with a grand total of $3,868.90 to invest fully into the stock market. So what exactly should I invest in? My $50,000 dividend portfolio currently consists of $23,000 into the Ascenders REITs, $20,000 into Capital Landmore REITs, and $8,600 into DBS Bank stock. Usually I'll just add on with the REITs account because DBS is rather expensive to buy at $43. The REITs have also fallen a lot from the all-time high, so it's a relatively cheap buy at this point of time. However, I actually have a more interesting proposal at this moment. When I was doing this video planning and doing this video script that I have here on my laptop that you guys can see, I was actually saying that I was thinking about investing into the Ali Abdaal's PTYA accelerator program. It costs around 5,000 USD. But the thing is, because I bought Ali Abdaal's PTYA, the basic program, at $995 USD. I think that was actually really good investment for me because I was able to grow my YouTube channel within a year to about 1,800 over subscribers that you guys currently have, and thank you so much for subscribing, and also monetize my YouTube channel as well. So actually earned quite a bit of a return because right now I haven't obviously earned back all the money that I spent onto YouTube, all the editing, all the software, all the subscriptions and everything that I spent on YouTube. It's a lot of money and I haven't earned them back. But I now actually have an income generating asset that can last me for the rest of my life. So as long as I shut all this down and I stop paying for anything, I can still churn out videos, continue my filming, just edit them by myself and post them. I can still earn money every single month, but I'm prioritizing growing my channel right now. So I'm really thinking about investing in myself right now. Of course, that $5,000 USD would amount to around $6,780 in Singapore dollars. So I'm hoping that if I combine the savings from this month, November, and of course next month's December savings, I'll be able to purchase this program. Actually, I already purchased this program, but I just wanted to invest the way that Alex Hormozi talks about in his channel as well, which is instead of investing in the S&P 500, why not invest in the SME 500? What this essentially means is that investing in the S&P 500 can give you maybe a 7 to 10% yearly return year on year in that sense. However, if you invest in yourself, in your education, your knowledge, you might be able to 10x, 100x, or even have a very big return on it in that sense. So it's a no-brainer to at least, getting 100% return or 1,000% return is very possible when you invest in yourself and your own education. Totally makes sense if you want to get guidance, and honestly, you just pay with either your time or you pay with money in that sense. And obviously, time is a non-renewable resource, but money is, you can always earn more money. So why not save that time and buy that time back with some money? YouTube currently pays me around $50 or so in AdSense every month and a couple hundred with affiliate marketing. So this is maybe around $200 for YouTube income as of right now. If I take this program and I'm able to at least double or triple my views on YouTube, I'll likely be able to earn maybe $200 to $300 per month from AdSense, a couple hundred more from affiliate marketing, and probably even $500 to $1,000 from a sponsor. Maybe that will all add up to maybe around $1,000 to $2,000. So that would actually be almost a 10 times return on the total amount of money earned, which is going to continue increasing even after I stop this program. Of course, the sheer amount of money spent is something that is making me hesitate a little bit, but if I go through these calculations, it makes it a no-brainer to just go ahead with the investment. Hopefully, you were able to learn all the different income sources that I have and choose one that fits you the most and get started with investing. If you enjoyed this video here, then you'll probably enjoy this video here on how to get started with investing on the Momo Singapore app as a beginner. Thanks for watching, have an amazing day as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Bye bye.